within Edo State, Azura Power Plant. For us as distributors of electricity, number one, even if you have 10 power plants in your state, all the power generated there goes onto the grid. So whether you have, like Egbin is the biggest thermal plant in West Africa, it's in Ikorodu, but it does not mean that power that comes from there belong to Lagos State, or Lagos State people must have the power. We can use it to even, they can use it to give power to them in Maiduguri or in Sokoto or in Ilorin. Now, in the case of Edo, now, people need to understand, BEDC covers 4 states, which is Edo State, Delta State, Ondo State, and Ekiti State. All these codes are given allocation. They have certain percentage of everything that is generated in the country, and they are not equal. For instance, BEDC have 9%, Kano 8%, I think Abuja is about 12%, depending on the location and the disco and so on. BEDC even take more than what they are allocated, which is they take about 9.6% of whatever is generated. And what happened was this. Edo State alone is taking 42%. If you look at the 4 states, they are supposed to have 25% of whatever is generated. Edo State alone is taking a huge cut, which is 42% of all that belong to those 4 states. Yet, we get the most militant issues in Edo State. And in the case of the governor, we just need the governor to understand that when power is generated, it goes to the grid. PDC cannot give more than its own allocation.
But can the states have their own infrastructure put in place to generate and indeed transmit power? Do they have that within their powers?
Well, there's nothing in the Constitution that says that should not be possible, but there's no doubt that what we have currently is that we have a central regulator, we have a national grid, right? We have a regulator for people that want to do embedded generation. And I'm aware that some of these states, and Edo State inclusive, perhaps have some projects that they wanted to do. These things are very clear. Get your license from the regulator, do the right thing, pay the right rate, or do what you're supposed to do to get it on board or get it done. And if there are things that are still there that people don't know, can you please come out and tell us about that?
But is there a solution to all these problems?
There is a solution. The solution should not be for a minister to go out and begin to talk even against his own government by saying that it is not government business if you have no light. If he says that, because we have to be careful. I'm not sure he did. I didn't see him saying that, but newspapers did, and they are yet to come out and rebut it. And I advise them to do so if they didn't say so. The moment the minister is saying, even the issue of FIFA, there was this example of, it is like FIFA, right? The regulator is like the referee. FIFA set all the rules that let us know, that make us to know where the goalpost should be, the penalty, the distance between the penalty point and the post, and all those things. If they don't set the right rules, of course, the referee cannot preside properly. If the referee fails to preside properly, you can't have a good sport, football. So what we're saying is that we need something that is missing in Nigeria. We call it, in ANED, we call it ACC, alignment, collaboration, and cooperation. Until they sit down and align the value chain. If you produce or generate 50,000 megawatts, and your transmission grid cannot carry more than 5,000, you are just deceiving the people. Because what will happen is you'll be wasting that generation because it can't go through your national grid. Or if your distribution network cannot do more than what is currently, which is 6,288 megawatts. Even when they are talking, I've not even heard anybody saying the truth about the current Nigerian disco's capacity. The capacity is 6,288 megawatts. The transmission, I know this government is investing a lot in it, doing a lot of work, but that will take time to come into fruition, because what we find is a lot of bottlenecks.
Let me get your views, since you're talking about regulation and, yes, of course, the power supply itself. How far have we gone about that policy on eligible customers? And have we had more up taking that opportunity?
Well, that question is even best thrown to Mr. Fashola, because when he started the policy, we made it very clear to him, while the law extract that they rely on allows for that, but it is very clear that it depends on the stage that we are in this market. So the issue of how many people have taken advantage of it, or how far have they gone in balkanizing the discos franchise areas, or what are the issues that are involved. Of course, if it was so easy, by now I even expect it to be so beautifully done and we'll be hearing about light everywhere. The issue is not about eligible customers alone or the Rural Efficient Agency going into urban area, calling it rural, Shomolu Bariga, rural, Azura Market, rural, and leaving my own village, Obafemi in Ogun State, which is truly rural, but nobody's gone there to do anything. So until we do what is right, in terms of all stakeholders working together, all of us, we are not doing well enough, all of us. Even I see a triangle, government on one part, one end of the triangle, operators like discos, gencos, and transmission, then customers or consumers. The three have serious problems. On the part of the government, a lot of people play politics with power instead of facing the issue of power supply and leaving it out of politics. On the part of the operators, you see a lot of inefficiencies, of course hampered by lack of liquidity. On the part of the customers, they want light, just give us light, but they are not willing to pay, they keep on stealing. 47% of our prepaid meters are bypassed. And when you find a country or a situation like that, then we all need to sit down and go back to basic and work out the best solution for the power sector. But like I said, what we need is alignment, collaboration, and cooperation. People are just doing what they like.
Talk to us about this metering, because you have well over 700 customers to meter, and you have a challenge of about needing 299 billion naira
Yes.
to do that.
The metering issue, we've said it over and over again. When we signed the performance agreement with the federal government, what the discos were committed to do, as of today, they've done 88%. That's below 100%, it should be 100. They've done 88%. But even if they have done 100, it is still far, far lower than the required number of meters in the country. The metering gap is very wide. But what I would say about metering is that let us wait for the federal government initiative called MAP, Meter Asset Provider. That's coming on. By January, February, we should be able to see something. At that point, then we can see what will come out of the issue of metering. We believe that it will work, but we hope that it would. That's all I can say about metering.
I want to thank you so much indeed for talking to us, Sunday Oduton, the president of the Association of Nigerian Electricity Distributors. Thank you for talking to us.
Thank
and
you.
when we return, 71 lawmakers advocate a parliamentary system in the country. We have that coming up in just a moment. Join us again.